Welcome to my studio. We're looking at watercolor painting this morning. I'm going to give you some basic outline. We're looking at two types of paper. One is cold pressed, the other hot pressed. Hot pressed is smooth and very good for doing precise lines. Cold pressed has a little more texture on it and gives more character to the paintings you do. There are different types of brushes: flat, round and mops. They all come in different sizes, as you can see. Watercolor paint is available in tubes or in pans. The tubes are liquid, the pans are solid paint. These fan palettes are really great for going out and about. You get a wide range of colours in a really compact palette. Here I've squeezed some paint into a small palette and left them to dry overnight. So the paint is now hard, a little bit like in the pan sets. I'm going to show you different effects that can be achieved. On this side of the paper, we're going to put paint direct onto dry paper. On this side, we're going to put paint onto wet paper. I'm going to lift some pigment off the hard paint and apply it directly onto dry paper. You can see I can control the paint very easily and make different effects by flicking the paint, rolling the brush. Here you can see I'm using 2 pots of water. One is for cleaning the brush, the other is for always having clean water to put on the paper. I'm going to wet this area with a little water. Not so much water that it actually can drip off the paper, just enough to moisten the paper. Then I can apply paint on and you can see what a soft effect it gets. Add another colour in and they start to blend. I can lift the paper and get gravity to help me make the colours blend a little. Here you can see how the paint is sitting in the little cups of the textured paper. It gives quite a lot of character to your painting. Adding some more colour in, a darker colour, lifting some colour out. Now some bolder colour. I've changed the brush, getting some different textures. I like to use purple to put dark shadows into greens. Lift a little more colour out. Now I'm going to put a trunk on the bottom. Always add your branches and trunks in after you've done the shape of the tree. I'm going to show you something different here, again onto dry paper with a more casual, slightly abstract effect. Very nice with flowers. Add a little extra colour in while that paint is still wet. And then again afterwards, add the stem and the leaves. Change the pressure of your brush to create leaf shapes. Now I'm going back to the wet in wet and adding some bold colours. If you add any colour and you don't like the effect, you can always lift it out with a tissue. It's worth experimenting with that. Now some more shadow under the tree. While that dries, I'm going back to the flower. And I'm using some pen work to give an outline and some detail in the middle of the flower. It's very controlled when you're painting directly onto dry paper. So even though that looks more casual, it's actually a more controlled effect than when you're working wet in wet, as we did with the tree. Now I'm going to add in lots of detail until I feel that the tree is looking the way I like. I'm using different brushes to get different effects all the time. Change the brush, change the direction that you apply the paint in. change the angle of the brush. Now some bright details on the top. A few loose leaves underneath. Building your picture up in layers is the secret of getting translucent colours with watercolour. Now it's your turn to experiment. Have fun!